Hi! By now I'm assuming everyone knows about the fun events in Undertale. For those who don't know, here's a quick summary. In Undertale, every time you reset, the game gives you a random number between 1 and 100, with each number resulting in a different secret unlocked in the game. The community has already talked to death about these fun events and their influence, but today I want to cover something that's been largely neglected: the sound test. If you have a fun value of 65 and defeat Papyrus before backtracking to this specific room, you'll be taken to a blank room with the text, "Listen to all your favorites," and a selection of songs that are never seen elsewhere in the game. A short cheery jingle called Happy Town, a creepy wave of triangle notes called Trouble Dingle, and the ever infamous Gaster's theme. Among these, however, is something that I've rarely seen brought up recently: a repeating 2-note track named Meat Factory. In Deltarune is the recurring motif of the Roots, which is thought to be a secret location related to the bunker and the sea. For more detail, I recommend checking out Roots Theory by Goldcrow. Why is this important? Well, in Deltarune Chapter 3, you can see the Shadow Mantle minigames. The third one takes place in a creepy dungeon-like area with a song called Bit Roots playing. The route is heavily tied to the bunker and Gaster, with the song even following the all caps naming convention associated with them. Why is this important? Well, this song links the roots to the mysterious entity Eram, which then links into Image Friend. In Deltarune, Chapter 4 is a secret room, where an NPC named Organic stands next to a prophecy named Roots, before stating, "Lost where the forest would grow, the children followed the pointed tail." The pointed tail in question here is thought to be Image Friend, and it will even references everyone adventuring out somewhere and getting scared, tying these vague statements to the roots. We'll get back to the roots later. I guess you could say that the roots just be... In the beginning of Deltarune, we encounter a mysterious speaker thought to be Gaster, who guides us as we create a vessel for the soul to inhabit before a second speaker discards it. The background image here is referred to in the game files as the Depths, a location heavily tied to the roots. A song plays called Another Hymn, which contains the motif heard in Gaster's theme from the sound test. Here's a comparison. Furthermore, this links to the roots, Gaster, and the sound test. In Deltarune Chapter 4, we get the prophecy, "The cage with human souls and parts." While this is thought to be referring to Kris, the wording could also be interpreted as describing the vessel, being a literal cage for our soul with different customizable parts. Less of a human like Kris and more of a creation made of different synthesized parts, specifically designed as a host or vessel for our soul. And where are things manufactured? Factories. Meat Factory isn't an area full of butchered carcasses. It's a workhouse with the different parts we use to create the vessel. Gaster beats his meat theory confirmed? In Deltarune Chapter 5's Weird Route, we force Kris out of bed and explore an empty festival before meeting up with Noelle. During our time in the festival, a song plays called Happy Town. Sound familiar? When we finally get to Noelle, she talks about finally getting to the other side of the lake like they wanted to as children, referencing what we talked about earlier. We take her to the lake, repeatedly saying "proceed" as the Weird Route jingle plays, getting more and more distorted each time, which parallels Trouble Dingle. We then appear to drown with Noelle in the lake before seeing a CRT screen which says, "Insert Chapter 7 Side B." Before we finish this off, there's one more thing I couldn't properly fit into this theory, but I think it's worth mentioning. I don't think I've gathered enough eggs and shard crystals for this yet, but I'll include it because I think it's worth expanding upon. For now, I'll just leave it as a little what if to go along with the main video. Now this is a little bit of a tangent, but during the Weird Route, Sans gives you some bread. Undertale and Deltarune are both heavily inspired by Earthbound. In the original game, Mother 1, there's a glitch where by leaving a bunch of breadcrumbs, you can glitch the game to wrong warp out of bounds into a monochrome, grayed out version of the game's original map. Well, I'm not going to dive super deep into this. I think that we may be able to explore a goner or monochrome version of the roots. I might even make an expansion of this, like some sort of Side B. So far from Gaster's theme in the intro to Trouble Dingle and now Happy Town remnants appearing in the Weird Route, the final unresolved piece of the puzzle is Meat Factory. Since the Weird Route will skip Chapter 6, I believe that Chapter 7, at least in the Weird Route, will be the Meat Factory hidden under the lake in a grayed out version of Hometown. It's also possible we may take control of the vessel too. Whether every part of this theory is true or only some, I believe that the weird route will end with us making our way through the meat factory, or something that parallels / is associated with the concept, and discovering something that will only get darker, darker, yet darker. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and have a great day.